Hey everybody, just thought I'd make a quick little video here and talk about a certain segment of my Newport Beach video that I thought was important. What's up? Where's Waldo? Failing Bomb. Hey, how's it going? Ohio Garden, and I'm a firearms dealer. Can everybody hear me just fine? Everything going okay with the stream? Excuse the cancer stick, but I'm trying to kick it, but I'm just a weak person. Um, cool. Hey, so I just wanted to have a little online chat, and I'm gonna watch the comments and try to interact. There is a little bit of latency, so you'll probably see me pause and try to catch up. You're in the mud. Hey, it's Red Baron. Hey, that's a local buddy of mine. Hey, man. Uh, for any or all of you that have seen my Fishing for Tyrants in Newport Beach video, there was a very important part of that video, and I don't know the timestamp right away, um, but it's when the older, more calm um, officer was talking to me and asking me what was in the case and asking me if I was armed, um, or if I had a gun in the case, a firearm in the case. And I told him that I had fishing gear and camera equipment, and that's all I had on my person. Now, some of you may not have picked up on that because he responded, or on this, he responded, why are you not answering the question regarding your case, your gun case? Even though I had stated I'm unarmed on my person. And that really intrigued me. So I dug around California's firearm laws regarding firearms in public. And I did a little research on the term on his or her person, or on your person. Now, if you look in the California firearm statutes, and there's quite a few of them, California legislature opted to use the term on his or her, or on the person. And there's really not a lot out there online as far as research goes regarding that term, but I did find one particular thing. And I think it came out of Nevada or Arizona. I actually have it on my computer here, where the Attorney General is giving an opinion to the legislature that's drafting a bill regarding uh, firearms and having weapons on you. And in this PDF, and I'll put the PDF in the description in a moment, or in the comments section. In the PDF, she tells the legislature that if you don't want any loopholes, and I'm paraphrasing here, if you don't want any misconceptions of what the legislature meant, and you want it to pass constitutional muster, you need to understand that on your person means in direct contact. Even if it's a case, or a bag or a backpack. Now, if you remember in my video, I had my uh, fishing case, or what they called a firearm case or a rifle case. It was on my back, but it was not in contact with my person. It was strapped onto the backpack itself. So there was a space there. It was not in direct contact with me. And that made me think when I was reviewing the video and while I was editing it, I kept catching what the officer was saying, but at the time in Newport Beach, it didn't dawn on me because I would have asked him about it. But when I did make the statements that I was unarmed, and I did make the statements that all I had on me was fishing gear and camera equipment, which was the truth. Um, there is a part that he specifically asked me, why am I not answering the question relating to the case? As if he was saying, well, I understand you're unarmed on your person, but the case is not on your person. So that's what got me to dive into the technical aspect and the verbiage in the legislature. It's actually a very interesting read. And if I can bring it up, a lot of states have actually gone to, instead of saying on your person, it's saying on or about your person. That way it covers a more broad definition of how far away the, the weapon can be to be in violation of the law. And it's important as far as I'm considering, well, pardon me. It's important as far as the law goes and how it's applied in the field or out in the real world. Again, this is opinion. I'm not a lawyer. Don't take this as legal advice. I'm just talking and rambling to anybody that wants to join us on this live chat. I'm not looking at the comments right now. You guys comment away. I'll try to get to them. I just wanted to get to the gist of what this live stream is actually about. I'm going to see if I can bring up the link to. Let's see if I can bring up the link to that. Right, should be right here. Copy. Oh no, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. Well, first I'm going to I'll post a copy. If anybody's curious, I'll post a copy of a link to a little California's little handbook regarding firearms and our complex firearm laws and weapons laws we have in California. Not as interesting as what I found, but if anybody's interested, there's the link. If you're ever curious about how stupid California is and how strict they are with the firearm ordinances. Maybe I'm going to have to dig that link up because it's an interesting read. Because the Attorney General, in the response to the legislature, was it Nevada? It was either Nevada or Arizona. Really hit the point I'm trying to make. Really hit it home. That anytime the law says on your person, if the item's not in direct contact with you or is not available to you without you having to change your position, it would not fly as far as the law goes. So, all right, let's just stop right there, and we're going to go ahead. I'm going to read comments and say hi to people. But that's pretty much what this stream is about. I don't know if anybody's ever picked up on the fact and that term called on your person, as it relates to how many states are scrubbing that and including on or about your person. So, in my opinion, even if I had a weapon in my fishing case in Newport Beach, I would not necessarily be in violation of a concealed carry law. Now, California law goes even more into, let's just say it goes way above and beyond because you got laws upon laws upon laws upon laws. We're just talking about a concealed carry. Did you know in California that if you are even legally carrying a firearm, let's say, what's a good example? Let's say you have a long gun in a case in the trunk of your car. All right, now long guns and shotguns don't have to be locked in a case, but they do have to be in a case and not accessible, um, or readily accessible. But if, let's say, you're on a traffic stop and an officer says, "Do you have any weapons in your car?" And without even thinking, you spout, "Oh yeah, I have my rifle or I have my shotgun in a case in the trunk." Now that you've told the officer that, he has a he may not have a constitutional right, but it hasn't been challenged. According to the law, he is a legal right to now inspect that firearm to see if it's loaded or unloaded. Okay? So, and if you say, "No, I don't consent," they put it in the statute that says if you don't consent, you can be arrested for not allowing it. Can you believe that? Well, that just goes to show you that's why you never answer questions. You open a Pandora's box in the legal world when you start answering questions. So, let's see here. Let's see. Boo, California. Yeah, Boo, California. Hiya, Junkyard News. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Thanks for stopping by. Cops are ignorant of the law. So many laws. That's why there are lawyers who are part of the system itself, you know. Oh, hey, I'm going to dive into. I got some great news. Okay. It's not about me personally, but I got some outstanding news. I am so proud. So proud of my girlfriend. Okay. I didn't want to say anything in like my prior videos uh, because she was not allowed to tell me anything until the case was over. All right. And I told her, don't tell me anything, but wait till the case is over and then let's talk about it. My girl reported Monday for jury duty. She had to go to Westminster for jury duty. And uh, she ended up getting on the jury, and I'm very glad she did. Uh, the gist of what I got and the gist of it, now this is pretty interesting, okay? There's three people in uh, one of those like cube type vehicles. I can't, offhand, I can't think of the manufacturer. But you see like the hamsters driving them in the commercials. Okay, it's like a soul. It's like one of those souls or whatever. Uh, Something along that line. Tiny little car. And they pull up to a red light, and she says it was a three lane street, and the defendant was in the rear passenger seat of this little vehicle. Okay, the driver was Caucasian. The passenger was African American male. To a cop, that's a red flag, right? Just kidding. Why is it got to be racial? Anyways, and then the rear passenger was African American female. I think it was his. If I remember right, it was the front passenger's sister was in the back, and she was the one on trial here. Um, so they're in the left lane of this street light, and it's red. Right in the middle lane is a squad car, right next to him. And then there's another separate car in the far right lane. The light turns green, and the driver of the accused vehicle didn't go right away. You always hear you never dart into an intersection. You wait a couple seconds just to make sure nobody runs a red light, yada yada. All right. So she waits for a second. She doesn't hit the gas. Besides, there's a cop car right next, and she doesn't want to get in trouble for speeding or exhibition of speed and crap like that. Well, the front passenger, the African American male, was upset. He was on a temp job and he got disciplined because he did his job too fast for his employer, his temporary employer. I guess they wanted him to milk it a little bit. So, he was just too good in his job. And he got reprimanded for being too fast in his job. So, I guess he was mad and they were talking about it in the car and the window was down and he was smoking like this. And the cop next to him, I guess, is overhearing the loud boisterousness of the African American male. And when she finally decided to go, in court, she later said she paused because she wanted to let the officers go first or something like that. But when she started to go, the cops got right behind the vehicle and pulled him over. And took the driver, took the passenger out or whatever, and they were talking to him. And somewhere along the line, somebody asks why they got pulled over. All right. And the officer said he got pulled over because he flicked a cigarette butt out the window, and it's a violation. Okay. Well, on its face value, if there's a law against it, that's a valid traffic stop. Okay. So they're running the passenger for warrants and checking on the driver. And now, granted, the driver, since she wasn't the one that flicked the cigarette, the driver of the vehicle is under no suspicion of nothing. Okay. She's pretty much just has to sit there and wait till this whole thing is over and the guy gets a ticket or whatever. All right. So eventually, according to my girlfriend, the cop that was conducting the traffic stop had a sergeant, a training sergeant, or there was somebody of higher rank than the one that it was in charge of the traffic stop on scene, but he was standing back and just letting the officer do his thing because he's training him, I guess. Didn't really want to get too involved. Was pretty much just a backup, just to overview and watch and help out if needed. But for some reason, they called for backup. Granted, minutes go by, some time goes by before they notice there's a third passenger in the back of the vehicle. All right. So they got the driver and the male passenger out, and don't even know that there's somebody in the back seat who's just sitting there waiting for everything to get done with, and everybody can be on their way. Well, backup arrives, and I guess there's a female officer with the backup who happens to notice that there's somebody in the back of this vehicle. Pause there. Pause there. We're going to rewind a little bit. Before they got out of the vehicle, I guess this African American male in the front was on probation as well. Okay, he was on probation for something. And the sister that was on trial here was said in court that she wasn't mad at everything that was going on because her brother gets in trouble all the time or gets stopped all the time, yada, yada, yada. So, no, she was just sitting back letting things happen. But before they pulled him out of the vehicle, one of them, might have been the driver, said, "We should record this." So the back passenger, the female, whips out her phone and starts recording the traffic stop from the back seat, unbeknownst to any officers. Now we'll go back to real time. Female backup officer comes up and notices this female in the back of the car. All right. Notices that she's filming. Now, use the word filming. We don't know recording. I should use the word recording. But filming's so much easier. They order her out of the vehicle to join everybody else. She asks, "Do I have to get out of the vehicle?" But doesn't resist. And they said, "Yeah, come on out." So she comes out of the vehicle before she even clears the door jamb, getting out, making no threatening moves or whatever, just has her phone. Her phone is grabbed from her by an officer, thrown back into the vehicle. She is spun around, put in handcuffs, and told to sit on the curb. Yeah, first red flag for me. Now, we're going to fast forward a little bit. While she's on the curb, okay, wherever she had been placed to sit, I don't know if it was on an ant hill or an ant hole or a nest of pincher bugs, but there were a lot of insects around. Now, mind you, my girl, the jury got to see the dash cam video. They got to see everything that transpired. Okay, and my girl was taking notes. While this suspect who's on trial was sitting on the curb, handcuffed, the earlier mentioned training officer, sergeant, whatever he was standing by her, not too far away. And on the dash cam video, you can see him shake his leg and flick an insect off his leg. Not too long after that, the woman that's on trial here notices she's got insects crawling up her leg on the inside, and according to testimony, started to bite her. So she started shaking her legs. And when nobody would help her, she stood up to try to, get the insects off her. And she was grabbed by the police and forced back to the ground. She jumped up again. And I guess she was trying to tell the officers, you got me on this pile of insects here. I'm getting eaten alive. Well, long story short, they ended up arresting her brother for flicking the cigarette out the window, of probation violation. He's back in custody. I looked him up. He's back in custody. Can you believe that they violated him on his probation for that? Even though it does say stipulation violate no laws, that's just in my mind pathetic. You want to throw him back in jail just because he littered. But they arrested the female passenger, and she was on trial for obstruction, and it might have even been assault with on a police officer. What the female backup officer claimed on her report, which she filled out hours after the arrest. She didn't even think about it. She filled it out hours after the arrest. She didn't use the footage or anything to look at everything and then base her report on that. She just went from memory and what she thought. And she claimed in her report that when the defendant was getting out of the car, they had to grab her and drag her out of the car. Video showed that a lie. Both the dash cam video and everything showed that was a lie. So there's a cop lying. Imagine that. 2, they claimed that she resisted arrest, that she and interfered with a police officer because she kept getting up and in an argumentative state. She kept standing up when ordered to stay on the ground. No mention of the insects. No mention of what was going on. Okay. So this poor woman pretty much got arrested de facto for filming police from the back passenger side of a vehicle, the back seat of a vehicle. She wasn't involved. She was detained and handcuffed with no suspicion of a crime. And the female officer lied in her police report. And the point I'm trying to get, other than the facts that I know of the case, is the fact that out of the 12 people, she said that there was one juror, an older lady. generation gap, I guess, who pretty much said, I was raised that you do whatever the cops tell you to, no matter what, and you don't question it. If the cop walks up and tells you to do 100 jumping jacks, well, you better start jumping. Oh my God. So, I guess after I guess in the deliberation, at the end of the first day of deliberation, they were 9-3. 9 to acquit and 3 to convict. So we were looking at a hung jury. But I'm proud of my girl. The only reason I'm really telling this story here is I am so proud of my girl because she's been de facto part of the Junkyard News. I mean, she has to listen to my stories. She has to hear me rant and rave about the videos I see. She has to hear me give my explanation of why I'm upset at some of the things I see. She's heard snippets of uh, case law. She's heard snippets of all these things, and she was boisterous in the jury room. Okay, she was boisterous in the jury room, and she was I think my opinion is she was instrumental in the acquittal of this young lady. Um, One thing that was stated was the fact that she got boisterous with the officers that were arresting her, and there was some profanity. Oh, I was also in the police report that she was cussing and screaming. Well, we all know, especially if it's towards a public servant, cussing out an officer is not against the law. It's a First Amendment right. And she actually said that to these jurors. She goes, because they brought it up. Well, look, she was cussing and screaming. And my girl, because of her history with me and dealing, with my aspect of what's going on with YouTube and Facebook and everything, she's learned a lot. And she looked right at these other jurors and said, you know what? It may not be nice. Some people may not think it moral. Some people may think it's some people may think it's downright scummy to cuss and flip off a cop. But that doesn't make it against the law. People have a right to do it. And you can't arrest or convict somebody for their First Amendment. Wow, I was so proud of her. So I still am so proud of her because I think she was very instrumental in getting this young lady acquitted. And she was. She was found not guilty. They were actually able to persuade uh, the three dissenting votes to change their vote to a not guilty vote. And the young lady cried when she heard the verdict of not guilty. My girlfriend says she broke down and thanked everybody, and she was overjoyed. Wouldn't you be? If you were, if a cop lied in her sworn statements about what happened when there's video evidence that contradicts it, eh, it's just unbelievable. I'm so proud of her. I can't say it enough. And I know she doesn't watch my videos, but she's here when I edit them and I upload them. But baby, I'm very proud of you. So, anyways, I know that was a long ramble. Let's see where we're at here. Take some vacation time and come to Mississippi. Sorry, come to Mississippi to do belligerent First Amendment audits. Come to Texas. You get to carry a sword around in public. Not kidding. Well, I believe it. Gotta love Texas, man. I still have to look into what's going on with them trying to turn the Alamo into a theme park and rename it. Oh my God, that's just wrong on so many levels. Don't tell me she got pregnant by an ant. No, but I guess she had a lot of bites on her leg and stuff. But what's up, Junk? Hey, Nutsack. Is there video? You know what? I'm going to try, now that she's been acquitted, I have the date of arrest. I'm going to put in a public records request, but it's Garden Grove Police Department. It's not a sheriff's department. It's Garden Grove Police Department. And from my past experiences, just about every police department claims investigative exemptions on public records requests regarding dash cams and call for service and radio and phone traffic and all that. They claim a investigative exemption in California's Public Record Act, and it would take a lot of money to get that to fight that in court and get a copy of that video. But it is something I'm thinking about submitting a public records request for. Apparently, this all happened in March of this year, and she just had her trial. The jury picking was Monday. The first day of the trial was Tuesday. Um, then Wednesday, they wrapped up and deliberated, and then Thursday, uh, she only had to go for a couple hours, and they almost immediately found her not guilty. So I'm very proud of my baby. All right. Yo, JD. So there's no cameras allowed November. What? Garbage Grove. Yeah, Garbage Grove. Still wondering what nutsack. JD, so there's no cameras allowed November 5th. I wouldn't doubt it. If you're talking about poetic, is that what you're talking about? In a courtroom? I don't know. I have to scroll up and see where that comment came from, but you may enlighten me in the comments section here. Keep up the outage, junk. Gotta go. Numbers, Mud Duck. Hey, all right, Red Baron. You're probably gone already, but that's one of my CB buddies. You remember one of my previous videos I told you how I got the term the junkyard news. That's one of my CB buddies from days of old. Red Baron. Let's see. Notice how he called me junk. Said in a previous video. That's what all my friends call me. They call me dog or junk. I even told that security guard at the FBI building, just call me junk. That's what everybody calls me, junk. I don't care. I love it. Oh, my bad. I got one. It's in the description, I believe. There's my GoFundMe. I'm looking right at it in the description of this video. Anybody's, if anybody wants to donate, you can. It's not something I like to push. The last video I did, I had a couple super chat donations there that paid for the fishing pole and the doggy chew toy donut, which was great. So they sponsored that video or that portion of that video. It was great. But yeah, in hindsight, I really wish I would have cussed and flipped off that cop. But if they would have done something to warrant a possible lawsuit, um, it's better if the jury doesn't see that type of behavior from the person that's you know trying to go after them civilly. Not that's not what I'm trying to do, but if that was to come into play, you got to remember. And I think Daniel Sullivan had that type of thing. The was it Tom Zebra had that type of situation come up. Is they looked at people looked at the jury, not a jury, but maybe attorneys or whatever. They looked at his videos, and most of his videos are pretty respectful, but he's got a couple that he speaks his opinion in his mind, and I respect him for that. But they say that your video better be likable to a jury to get any type of reward, or damages back, other than like $1 and attorney's fees. Um, so in hindsight, I really wish, since they didn't do anything to me, they didn't other than detain me, brief detainment. Um, I do. I did. Man, that young cop. Man, if looks could kill, man, he was with his freaking Officer Poncherello sunglasses, man. He was staring me down. He didn't like me one bit. What a punk. There's not many camps around here. As long as there's no one else trying. Ha! That's funny. Let's see. Where's Waldo? Oh, I read that one. Sick of stupid. Can we do a pop quiz for the doggy donut toy? We could, but I kind of want to use that in another video. I do. I want to hold on to that for a little while. Instead of that just having a segment, a little segment in a video, I'd like for that to be maybe the main focus of a video. I want to go somewhere with that poll um, without a fishing pole case, and just sit somewhere on public property and cast that thing like towards a police station or something, you know what I mean? But actually get some distance on it. Not in the street where they could say that I'm screwing with traffic and stuff like that. I just want to go practice casting somewhere safe that I can do it. And I think that would be really funny to cast that thing at like a police station or whatever. Or maybe do a compilation video of me doing it at several police stations, even if I don't get any contact. Um, which would be pretty cool because they would understand that it's my right to do it. But I kind of want to hold on to that. Maybe down the line we can give that away. I'll I'll autograph it, and down the line we'll do some type of contest to give it away. Um, that would be a good idea. That'd be cool. But no, I want to use it. It's a good prop. I want to use it in a future video or two. No junk. Get on the sheriff's roof and lower it in front of their doors. Oh, wait. I got something even better. If I could pull it off. What if I think I'll hot glue. I don't want to super glue it. I'll hot glue a clip on the bottom of uh, my drone and maybe have it hanging like 10 feet under the drone, and I'll fly the drone and have the camera pointed straight down on the drone, and I'll fly it to the police station like right by the door and kind of rock back and forth so it swings like a pendulum. How do you think that would come out? Think that would be a good one? All right. So, yeah, pretty much that was the gist of this conversation. I wanted to tell you guys about my girlfriend's jury experience. And again, very proud of her. I'm a huge supporter in the fact that if there's no victim, there's no crime. Okay, and the fact that the laws have changed and things have gone on in this country where now the state is considered, you know, the victim in anything you do. Okay, um, if you jaywalk, it's the state versus you. If you're speeding, it's the state versus you. I mean, the state claims to be a victim of a crime, and they claim to be the victim. I don't know how that's possible. But anyways, I digress. Let's see, where are we at here? Anybody make any comments? When your drone with it send to another auditor, and then they can send it to another, and we can vote who had the best gag. I like that idea. I like that idea. You think the old lady on the jury is no longer a cop sucker? No. She definitely still is. Okay? Because you, she was talking to somebody after it. My girlfriend overheard her talking, and she claimed to other jurors that she'll use every excuse in the book never to be on a jury again because she felt bullied into changing her vote. Can you believe that? She wasn't bullied. She was just she was just shown facts and law and You know, you got to put your own morals and your own, you know, I don't know what else I'm trying to say, but she was shown the facts that this woman didn't do anything wrong. There were logical reasons for everything that transpired on that stop. One, she wasn't suspected of any crime, yet she was detained and handcuffed. Oh, wait. One more thing I forgot to point out, and I hate to pull the race card. I do. Do you know? Hold on. Time for my sponsor. Just kidding. It's not a sponsor. I just love do the do. I just love do. All right. Not to pull the race card, but of all three people in that traffic stop, if you had to guess on one person that was not handcuffed or frisked, who do you think that was? Do you remember the demographics I told you about the three people in the vehicle? Who do you think did not get frisked and did not get handcuffed? I'll wait for a response. I buy Mountain Dew by the freaking case, and I buy it in multiple cases at a time because I drink this crap like water. It's gonna kill. I think my blood's green now. Well, it's either the Dew or something else doing that. Haha. But anyways, the Cambodian guy. All right. Oops, there it is. No. The driver. The answer to my previous question was the driver. And what ethnicity was the driver? She was a Caucasian female. So, you have the driver, Caucasian female, driving the car. She didn't flick the cigarette out. She was not detained. She was not frisked. She was not handcuffed. You have the African American passenger in the front seat on probation. Okay, and he was the one that actually supposedly committed the offense of littering and flicking a cigarette out the window in front of a cop. He got pulled out, he got handcuffed, and he got frisked. And he got violation of his probation for it. So, all right. And the jury trial, the defendant in that trial was the back passenger, African American female, who was left alone until a female officer noticed she was filming with her phone. Again, she wasn't suspected of any wrongdoing, wasn't suspected of any type of criminal activity, wasn't suspected of anything other than being a passenger while black and recording the police. Yet she got frisked, she got handcuffed, and she got set on the curb with a bunch of insects crawling up her pants and stuff, okay? And the Caucasian driver, the little girl, was treated like a princess. What do you think? This is the world we live in, okay? Yeah. So, there. I let the race card out. I hate to do it, but I couldn't help but draw that conclusion, because my girlfriend brought it up. It was one of the last things she told me about. She goes, "Hey, if you had to pick one person that didn't get searched, didn't get frisked, didn't get handcuffed, who would it have been?" And of course, looking at the history of things, the white driver. She goes, "Yep." Yep. Revenue generation. Why not give us the URL for the broadcast so we could have a live conversation? What? What did I miss? What did I miss? First Amendment test. Did they ID the driver at least? I'm gonna have to ask my girlfriend that. I'm gonna have to ask my girlfriend that. Again, I'm gonna submit a public records request for the dash cam in that case, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on getting it. And since it's um, a police department, they're probably gonna try to charge me like 25, 30 bucks for a CD. That's one thing I got to give props to Orange County Sheriffs for. Every public request that they've filled for me and put dash cam and all this stuff on a CD, guess how much they charge me? Guess how much I'm charged for the time that it takes them to gather all the information I requested and put it on a CD. Well, I'm not going to make you wait too long. Maybe I could show you how much. Let's see. Yep, I can show you how much. $1. That's right. $1 is all Orange County Sheriffs charge me for my records requests. When I get the CD with dash cam and audio and video and reports and all that. They dig it all up when I get it. When I do get it, if it's about me, if I put in a request for somebody other than me and I'm not involved, well, it's a luck of a draw if I get them. But if I'm involved in the traffic stop or I'm involved in the incident in some way, they give it up, and I respect them for at least that. And they only charge me $1. I said it again, just $1. What was it, RoboCop? I'll buy that for $1. Good idea. Nothing. I'm simply saying that we can chat via Hangouts. Go see what News Now Houston just put on. Bet you $100 they didn't. Ha! I am a betting man, but I am not going to take that bet. Waldo, I'm not going to take that bet. Yeah, that's true. Yep. Hey, Houston. Yeah, $1. Can you believe that? That's one thing I've always respected. It's always impressed me. I've put in public records requests for local PDs, police departments, and they've wanted to charge me a minimum $25. Laguna Beach, Newport Beach, Oceanside PD, $25. Huntington Beach Police was like 30. It's just unbelievable. Yet we have Orange County sheriffs, um, and all they charge me is $1 for my CDs with my public records requests on them. Should be free. We already pay. Yeah, but I guess the dollar is for the cost of the actual CD. At least they're not charging me for hours it takes for them to research and gather the information and do their job. At least I don't have to pay extra for them doing their job. I just pay the dollar for the CD. So I really can't complain about that too much. Must go, friends. Enjoyed the conversation. Saved Judy's story. Now, systems period because you're making them actually work. Yeah, true, true. Records discharge me now it's free. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm sure if I requested just paper, some pieces of paper, they'd probably give it to me for free. Apparently, the dollar is just to cover the cost of a CD, which they're probably still making a profit on because you can buy a pack of 50 CDs for like $12 or something like that. So they're probably still making a decent profit on each CDs, but still, I can't complain. Not for a buck. Um, so I don't know when. Hey Dave, I don't know when you started watching this, but we were talking about some legal terms regarding my fishing expedition in Newport Beach. The video I posted. I didn't catch it right away. I caught a glimpse of it through editing, and then I went back and watched it again. And I picked up on the fact, for anybody new that didn't hear it, I picked up on the fact that the older, chubby type officer, when I answered the question, I told him I was unarmed and I had no weapons on my person, just fishing and camera equipment. That he said he asked me about the case. He goes, "Well, I understand, but why are you avoiding answering the question of what's in the case?" So he separated the case from my person, and it caused me to look up the statutes. Actually, a lot of firearm statutes, and California still has the verbiage, the old verbiage of on your person instead of on or about your person. Um, so the fact that my fishing case was strapped to my backpack, which was backpack was strapped to my person, the officer considered it not on my person. So in my opinion, I would have been okay regarding any statute if there was a firearm in there whatsoever, anyways, as long as it wasn't loaded. So um, I just found that interesting, and I wanted to share that with people. And I haven't done a live stream in a couple days, so I just thought, what the hell? Let's say hi. Oh, the Mississippi Tyrant names. Nice. Nice. Loopholes are a bitch. Yeah, they can be. Um, I was actually thinking about going out, uh, taking a drive, and maybe doing an audit today. I got tied up with family. I was on a call with my mom earlier, and had some personal stuff I had ended up having to do. So unfortunately, I didn't get any audits done today. So on my day off, but there's always Monday. I think I have next Monday off, and if I don't have any Skype conversations to attend there, Dave, then I'll probably go out and do some audits, or maybe I will do both. I don't know. We'll see. I got most of the Mississippi Tyrants ID. Sweet. Nice job. But YouTube flagged my video of the ABC News report with my little additions I put on there during the video, my commentary that I added. They flagged it for demonetization. Well, not total demonetization, but like most people, they made it limited or no ads, and I appealed, and it did not even get to 1,000 hits yet, 1,000 views. I think it was only at 700 views, and they did look at it. So even though it hadn't reached 1,000, they reviewed it and they confirmed it as not suitable for advertisers. And I felt that very odd because it was a news report. There was no cussing. There was nothing. Of course, some people might find it controversial or whatever. But they confirmed limited or no ads on that video. Unfreaking believable. I bet you this one will get flagged too. You watch this live stream, it'll get flagged for limited or no views. And all we're talking about is a case, uh, both terms in that actual jury trial that my girlfriend was a juror on, and some legalese. That's all we're talking about. Nothing controversial. I was about to read that, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't say that. That word might get flagged, but it starts with an S. YouTube's first logo was a, and fill in the blank. Yeah, I like that. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe the nerve of that junkie cop. And I think it's great that they had a security cam or nanny cam or whatever it was. The fact that they caught the relatives of the deceased homeowner. It must have been a security cam. That's right, because the report said that it sent an alert of movement in the at the home, and the relatives logged in and saw him come into the garage. So that's actually cool. Uh, thumbs up to the deceased homeowner that installed that security equipment and gave us all a good laugh at a stupid junkie cop. Yeah, I said it, a stupid junkie cop who will who resigned, who got a paid vacation for some days, then ended up resigning. And that's important that he resigned is because now he'll go to treatment and he'll get out of treatment and he'll go get hired on somewhere else because he still has his credentials. So he'll be out eventually he'll be out there maybe going and patrolling your local streets. You never know. See you later, Dave. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciated. Video on how YouTube is stealing from content providers. I know they are. All right. Think of this. Think of this. Now, it may not affect channels that have 1 million subscribers, okay? Because, I mean, not that I watch his videos or whatever. There was a time I did, and I'm not saying anything pro or negative against Alex Jones, but the guy had enough subscribers that they pushed out videos every hour, it seemed, segment every hour, and people would watch. Okay, and within the first hour, he'd have a few thousand views. Now, think of how many channels YouTube has, okay, and how many monetized content providers YouTube has. That first CPM or milli per the money you make off every 1,000 views on advertisement could range anywhere between $1 and $2 or $3 per 1,000 views, okay, or per 1,000 impressions, I should say, whatever the case may be. Now, it's interesting that they put that they will not review videos until they reach 1,000 views. Okay, so although they probably do show ads on your video, that first 1,000 views, you're not getting that CPM. You're not getting that revenue, and YouTube's keeping it. So hypothetically, let's just say. Now I don't know this. This is just maybe I'm just thinking. This is a theory. All right. Let's just say that YouTube saves itself even just $2 on every video that gets limited or no advertising views for the first 1,000 views or impressions. Okay, that's $2 they get to keep, and now multiply that by how many videos, monetized videos, are on YouTube or get uploaded to YouTube every day. How much of that is getting put in their bank account and they're not giving it to the content providers? Okay, that's what I think that's all about personally. And I keyed on the 1,000 views because that's what the ad rates per milli is. It's how much money you get for a video per 1,000 impressions or per 1,000 views or whatever it is. So it's interesting to me that they picked 1,000 exactly. I think it's just a revenue plot. I don't know. It's an opinion. I don't know for a fact, but to me it just makes sense that they're saving $2 or $3 per video that gets uploaded, and think of how many videos every day that are monetized get uploaded onto YouTube. I think you're looking at quite a chunk of change right there. All right, so where are we at here? We're at 1 hour. I'm probably going to stop the live stream here shortly because it's kind of dragging on. I appreciate everybody decided to tune in and say hi. Looks like at one point we were up to 30 viewers. Woohoo! That's double of what my other ones have done. So thanks everybody for watching. Oh, I was gonna tell you what. After I stop the stream, I'm gonna find that link to the Attorney General's letter and opinion to the state legislature regarding the term on one's person or on or about one's person, because in the letter she explains the difference and tells them if your intent is to do this and criminalize this, you don't say on one's person. You need to say on or about one's person. And that's interesting. In California, firearm laws and weapons laws, they have the old verbiage. They have on one's person. So it would be an interesting legal defense to anybody out there that gets arrested for violating the state law on a concealed weapons charge if it's not in their pocket, in their purse, if they're not in contact with whatever the weapon is in. And like I said, my theory, my opinion is, and the reason the officer told me, well, I understand your statement about not being armed on your person. If you go back to watch the video, you'll catch him ask me this. He's like, but you're not answering about what's in the case. So he separated my person from the case. And I think that's because the backpack was a buffer zone. The case was not in direct contact with me. The case was strapped to the backpack. The backpack was in contact with me. So that made me think, and that's what I wanted to talk about, and I found pretty interesting. So I hope you all enjoyed the live stream. We're going to go ahead and take off now and get off this thing. And I will dig up that link if anybody wants to read it. It's not that long, and it's kind of interesting. You kind of get into the mind of the legislature and get into the mind of what attorney generals think about and how they look at the law and loopholes and things like that. Before you go, did you send my shirt? Oh, crap. Thanks. All right. I got to go. I got to go to my work. I got to pick up an envelope because I promised Sick of Stupid People his shirt. I promised I'd get it out that day, and something came up. I said I'd try, but I didn't promise. And then I did. I've been thinking about it, but I haven't done it. So I got to go. I need to go get an envelope to mail this shirt out. I'll probably get two because I told News Now I'd send him a shirt. So, hey, Sick of Stupid People. Yeah, I'll get it out. I'll go do it. I'll go get an envelope right now and get it addressed. I think it was on my Facebook. You sent me a message with your address. I gotta find that, but I know I have it somewhere. All right, so I'll go do that right now. I'm sorry for the delay. It was not intentional. Um, but when you get the shirt, you got to take a picture of you in it. Even if you want to cover your face, that's fine. But you got to take some type of picture wearing the shirt, and you can message me the picture on Facebook or whatever. If you don't want me to post it or whatever, I won't. Just tell me that. But if you send me a pic and it's okay to put it on my Facebook page with a congratulations to you, uh, put that in the message as well. So I know I have your permission to do that because I don't want to do something that you don't want me to do. I respect your wishes on that. But I think it would be cool to show everybody the shirt once you get it. So let me go do that right now. I'll do it right now. I won't delay. All right. On his new video 20 minutes ago. All right. No worries. I'm sorry, man. I am. This morning I even thought about it for a minute. He's like, I got to go get that envelope and I have to get that mailed. And then I got on this tangent. Maybe I got attention deficit disorder. I don't know. But let me go go get an envelope for that right now, and I'll get it out in the mail. All right? What time is it? Oh, I got plenty of time. Let's go do that. Everybody, thanks for tuning in and watching. Until the next video or next live stream. It's fun. I love ranting to you guys. I love talking, and I love reading the comments and answering questions as we go along. So I appreciate all you guys and gals that have decided to grace me with your presence. All right? All right, guys. Until next time, Junkyard News. Peace out. We're out of here.